First opened back in 2012. We're live inside the cavernous Lone Depot Park in Miami. Tonight, the opener of a 3-game series between the St. Louis Cardinals and the Miami Marlins. Stay tuned for Marlins baseball next. Trevor Rogers will be on the mound for the series opener. Dan, any thoughts?
This guy really struggled last year. This season's going to be about a bounce back year. Real ugly ERA last year. He has a lot to prove to himself and to his teammates that he's a much better pitcher than he was last year.
That brings in Tommy Edman, and we are set for baseball here this evening.
The shortstop, Tommy Edman.
First delivery to him.
First pitch, 640.
On its way, the 0-1 pitch. Guys, this Marlins ball club, as they begin play here tonight, they come in off to a bit of a slow start with just 1 win in their first 3 tries.
Yeah, Matty, I know they lost their last game, but you know as well as I do, in this sport, you have to have short-term memory. You have to let it go. They can get it going back in the right direction today.
That gets down, and he's got himself a base hit. So the inning's underway with the Cardinals getting their leadoff hitter on base.
Nice piece of hitting right there. When you're facing a young blood on the mound, young starting pitcher, you want to get him into the stretch as quick as possible. You want to see how he handles the moment, to see if maybe you can run on him. A lot of things going to open up with this next at-bat.
In now, Dylan Carlson, as he takes a called strike on the black. It's 0-1. Nobody out, runner on first. That's over, but low. It's a ball and a strike. So let's take a peek at the umpiring crew in this one. Behind the plate is Ricky Holiday.
Yeah, Dan, we got Ricky Holiday behind the dish tonight. I can't figure his zone out. He doesn't favor the hitter or the pitcher and can be a little too inconsistent at times.
D-Row, you hit the nail right on the head. I think one of the things we're looking for a consistent zone. If it's a tight zone, it's a high zone. Have the same zone. His zone fluctuates a little bit too much for my liking during the course of a game.
Fastball called, strike 3, and there's the first out of the inning. So a runner at first with 1 out now, and that'll bring in Nolan Arenado. From the stretch, here's the pitch. Right side, but it's going to be a foul ball.
With that base running threat on first base, man, does that change the pitcher's whole mentality. This guy at the plate should assume nothing but heaters coming right at him.
The 0-1 on its way. That's in there, and he's deep in the hole now, 0-2. Inside, as he might be trying to set him up here, 1-2. Edman, base runner at first with 1 out. And this one's in the dirt, but it won't skip away far enough for the runner to advance. Grounded to the right, and that's through for a hit. He'll hold at second, and there are 2 aboard now.
Man, I thought this at-bat was over. Down 0-2. He's able to work himself back into a hitter's count, 2-2, and he's able to find a knockout there.
And that brings up Paul Goldschmidt as he will look at a first pitch fastball for ball 1. Great chance to drive in a run here in the early going. Now the 1-0. Back up the middle and in for a base hit. Long throw to the plate. And this will not be close, and the run will score easily.
Hey, nice way to start a new series, D-Roll. The thing you want to do is try to score early. It's always nice to win the first game of a series.
Yeah, they're coming out swinging right here, trying to set the tone and let everybody breathe a deep sigh of relief. Hopefully get this first game under our belt.
Yadi Molina digging in now as he'll look at a slider that runs in too far for ball 1.
This is exactly the situation you drew up from an offensive standpoint. Good pitcher on the mound, but you got a chance to bury him early in this one.
The 1-0 delivery. Changeup stays outside and is behind 2-0.
Great chance right here as a hitter to be really aggressive. With two guys already on, pretty good shot. He's going to get a challenge pitch right here.
The 2-0. And here's a ball lifted high into foul ground down the right field line. Duvall is over, and he puts it away in foul ground for the second out.
That is it. The second baseman, Paul DeYoung.
The next to bat for St. Louis, Paul DeYoung. And a great chance here for the Cardinals to add on in just the first inning. Has a look, now the pitch. And there's a line drive, base hit to left field. And a good throw will wind up holding that runner at third, so the bases become loaded now with 2 gone.
Hey, this pitcher better make an adjustment. That's a lot of loud contact. That's 4 bullets in the first inning to open up this game.
Stepping in now, Tyler O'Neill, as he looks at a fastball that misses off the plate for ball 1. Given the situation, he's got an opportunity to break this game wide open. Can't sit back long enough, and the count evens up at 1-1. 2 out, bases loaded. A ball and 2 strikes now.
I mean, he's coming right after him, Matty. 3 fastballs in a row.
And he fouls this one off. Fouled off. One and 2. Here it is. Got him. So the damage winds up not being as bad as it could have been, as they'll strand the bases loaded. The side is retired. So 1 run on 4 hits, no errors, and 3 left. Kwang Young Kim gets the start for St. Louis in this one. Dan Plesac, what do you got?
Well, Matt, this guy's one of those pitch-to-contact kind of guys. You're not going to see a bundle of strikeouts, not an overpowering guy. Puts the ball on the in and outside corners, up and down in the strike zone. A pitch-to-contact guy, so if you're looking for strikeouts, you're probably not going to see a boatload from this guy in this one.
Miguel Rojas is in to start things off as he looks at a ball to start the inning. 1-0. And fellas, we take a look at the Redbirds entering play here tonight. It's so far so good as they enter play 3-0 on the young season.
Yeah, guys, this is a dangerous team right now. Game 1 of a new series, coming off a sweep. Everybody's feeling good, swinging the bats red hot. This should be interesting.
From the windup, the 1-1 pitch.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Never attempted to swing at that ball down low. It's ball 3. Jazz Chisholm is on deck. The 3-1 pitch. Lifted in the air out towards left center. O'Neill waits on it. Looks it into his glove, and there's one gone.
Batting second, the second baseman, Chisholm.
Now at the plate is Jazz Chisholm. Here's the first pitch to him. Looked like he tried to pull it there, but he swings right through the fastball. Ball one.
That one looked like it could easily have gone the other way. There's a big difference between 0-2 and 1-1, but now this next pitch probably becomes the biggest of the at-bat.
Now the pitch. Back up the middle. And that finds its way into center for a one-out base hit.
There's a hard hit ground ball. Pitcher not able to get a glove on it. Hard single up the middle.
Yeah, watch your lips right there, Dad. Sent it back right where it came from.
Prior to the at-bat, a check on first. And he's back easily. To the plate now, Corey Dickerson. He'll take a look at a pitch too low. It's ball one. Now a move over to first, and the runner back. Chisholm leads off first with one away. No offer at that point. It's a cold strike.
Hey, love the confidence in that pitch right there. Going right after one of the better hitters on this team. Not afraid to execute.
And they pitch out here, but nothing's going on. Now the 2-1 pitch. Runner goes for second. Pitch outside. The throw. Not in time. He's in there at second. Well, that stolen base was about as bang as they come, and his show track demonstrates to us right here it was his top speed that really made all the difference. He's definitely got wheels, and they were on display there. The 3-1 pitch. He loses him on ball four.
Batting fourth, the third baseman.
Striding in is Brian Anderson, trying here to plate the tying run from second. He's set. Here it comes. Ball one.
I wonder if that call not going his way right there has anything to do with walking the last guy. We all know umpires don't give you much on the corners if you're not throwing strikes consistently.
Runners are at first and second with one away. Fouled away. Now the 1-1 pitch. And that misses 2-2.
We just saw a fastball right there. I would not be shocked if he tries to get this guy to go fishing right here and drops a little off-speed pitch in the dirt.
On the ground to second base. This could be two. To second for one. On to Goldschmidt, and it's in time. A double play, and the side is retired. One pitch, 2 outs. A pitcher's best friend to end the inning. We're back to South Florida following this. So that'll bring in Harrison Bader. He was not much of a factor at the plate during yesterday's win as he took an 0-for-4 line. First offering on its way. And he gets ahead here with the fastball. Strike one.
You could clearly see that the hitter didn't like that strike call, And his manager, he didn't like it either, as he's giving the umpire an earful from that dugout.
Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1. And that finds the target. 0-2 now.
After 2 great pitches, he has a lot of options right now. He could bounce something or go elevated fastball.
Into the corner and slicing foul. And he misses there. 1-2. To 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
Well, 2 straight fastballs inside haven't put him away. So now it'll be interesting to see what he turns to.
And a changeup swung on and missed for the first down.
It's always nice to keep a guy that has good wheels off base, and that's just what they did right there. Big strikeout, keep that guy off the base path.
So now to the plate, Kwang-Young Kim. As he'll take a look at a slider here that finds the zone for strike 1. We're in the second with the Redbirds holding a 1-0 lead. Fly ball right down the line in left. The windup and the 0-2 pitch. Popped up. Rogers over to his right, and he brings it in for the second out of the inning. So it's back to the top of the order now, and that'll bring in Tommy Edman. Now here's the first offering. Weak grounder back to the mound. Throw to first with time to spare, and the side is retired. 1, 2, 3 go the Cardinals. And after an inning and a half, it's 1-0. Bottom of the inning now, and up next, former San Francisco minor league property Adam Duvall. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. The windup and the 0-1. Now a swinging bunt.
Hey, if he's going to execute that curveball, and that's the first one of the day, if he's going to execute it like that, be on the lookout for that one. That's going to be a big pitch for him today.
Tried the slider to ring him up, but he lays off 1-2. And he lays off a pitch outside as they draw even at 2-2. And a big cut at the breaking ball, but he comes up empty, and that's the first out. So now into the box is Garrett Cooper. Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch. And this is on the outside corner for strike 1.
I'm absolutely shocked he took that pitch right there. Right in the wheelhouse, low 90s heater. That's one you gotta let go on.
Oh, and he took a big swing at that one as this is driven out to deep left center field. And that one is gone! So a solo shot here to left center field. First home run of the campaign for him. And with it, the Marlins are back even now at 1-1.
Man, I love that AB right there. He rushed him in with the pitch before. You would think maybe he would leak a little bit, cheat to the inside half of the plate. Not the case. Kept his shoulder square, stayed on that pitch middle away, and was able to drive it out of the yard.
Into the box now, Sandy Leon. As he'll take a look at ball 1. The 1-0 home. Maybe trying to back him up a bit there with the fastball. He's fallen behind now, 3-1. Into the windup and the pitch. And this will be nowhere close as his control deserts him here. It's a 5-pitch walk.
Whoa, you know a pitcher is really fighting himself when he misses a zone by that much. I'm surprised the catcher could even bring that in.
So now to the plate, Monte Harrison. 1 in, 1 out, and 1 on here in the inning. First pitch of the AB now.
Hey.
Here's the 0-1. Setting him up inside as he swings and misses for strike 2. Runner on first here with 1 gone and a 1-1 tie. Breaking pitch, and this bounces in front of the catcher.
Good job by the catcher to keep the ball from getting too far away and allowing that base runner to get into scoring position. That keeps the double play in order, which they need, seeing as they've already given up 1 run in this inning.
Hit in the air down the right field line. Long run for the right fielder. He makes the running play. 2 down. Now to the plate, the pitcher, Trevor Rogers. First offering on its way. Leone leads off first with a pair of outs in the inning. Oh, and he's really getting the better of him now. It's strike 2.
You know that nasty changeup's lurking right here. If I'm in the batter's box, I have to tell myself to stay back. I have to take pull side out of the equation, or that changeup's going to beat me.
A ball and 2 strikes to the Marlins pitcher.
Boy, he sped him up in this at-bat. Now it's time for the changeup. This guy's got a good one, and he hasn't thrown it yet in this at-bat.
Now a fastball as he just reared up and let that one fly, and the inning is over. But a run scores in the inning, and that'll have to be good enough as this solo home run knocks things up. We've played 2, all tied at 1-1. Top of the 3rd set to get underway, and set to go is the switch-hitting outfielder, Dylan Carlson. Here's the first pitch.
Inside, ball 1.
Into his windup. Here comes the 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes.
You can see this guy's more focused at the plate right now. In that first AB, he went down on strikes.
Too tight with that one. 3-0.
Just a little bit off to start the 3rd now. That's 3 straight balls.
In there, 3-1.
Hey, usually the second time through the order, you start seeing an incorporation of some more off-speed stuff. But this guy's locating, feeling really good about his fastball. 2 back-to-back.
And he lays off there, ball 4. So the leadoff man is on here to begin inning number 3.
Yeah, and as a starter, the last thing you want to do is let a team answer when your guys just scored a run for you. So he's thinking ground ball right here to try to get a double play and end this threat.
Stepping in once again is Nolan Arenado. He singled in his first AB. He's set, and the pitch. Way inside with that one. A pretty easy take there.
That's ball
And
2.
maybe a little frustrated on the mound here as the fastball misses for ball 2 now.
Hey, always a good idea to take a couple of pitches when you're facing a young arm like this one. And now he's put himself in a real good hitter's count.
The 2-0 on the way is swung on, missed, and that's strike 1.
What I love right there is just the freedom in that hack. He ain't trying to do anything but hit the baseball as far as he can.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Nolan Arenado.
Hey, you know the pitcher right now, he's looking for that best friend, that double play ball. This is where you have to really be disciplined at the plate and make sure that you get a pitch that's above the knees that you can get in the air.
Oh, and this fastball is belted to deep left center field. Does he have enough to get out of here? Yes, a home run. So a 2-run shot to left center. First home run of the campaign for him, and it gives the Cardinals a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, everyone in the stadium, including the guy in the mound, knew it was just a matter of time until this guy cranked one out of here. Well, that's the first one of the year, and many more are sure to follow.
Here's Paul Goldschmidt now.
The first baseman.
As he'll take a look at a slider that can't make it back to the corner. It's ball 1. 1 for 1 with a single so far. And this is a fastball that's right on the black, but ruled a ball. It's 2-0 now.
Looks like this guy's afraid to throw the ball in the strike zone. Gave up that home run earlier in the inning. Needs to get back to being aggressive.
And that'll get down out there near the wall. And he's going to get to second now with nobody out.
The catcher, number 4.
So now time will be called as we're going to get a visit from the pitching coach here as he'll hope to settle his guy down. Here's the catcher, Yadier Molina, as he will take strike 1 on the fastball here. No balls and a strike. Flew out in his only at-bat so far. Line drive, base hit into the left center field gap. And the run will score from second base as they open it up now 4-1.
You'll only see about 10 of these pitches a year. The changeup on a tee in the middle of the plate, but tip your hat to the batter right there. He did not come unglued, stayed within himself, and drove it for a base hit.
So Paul DeYoung digs it next. As the first pitch misses to him, it's ball 1. 1 for 1 with a single so far. The 1-0. Count now a ball and a strike. 3 runs already home here. Can't keep the weight back, and he falls behind 1 and 2. Has a look, now the pitch. Hit on the ground to short. Fielded cleanly to second for 1. On to first to complete the double play.
It's hard to do anything with a pitch like that that's below the zone. And if you do anything with it, most of the time, this will be the result. A double play on a good pitch down in the zone.
At the plate, Tyler O'Neill. As he will take a fastball in there at the knees for strike 1. Looking to put the ball in play here. He went down on strikes in his first at-bat. Down and away, ball 1. 2 out, nobody on. And here's a slider for a called strike, and he's behind 1 and 2 now. off-speed pitch in the dirt as he takes it for a ball. Now a swing and a weak little line drive over to first. And no problem over there at first as he flags this one down to end the inning. So 3 runs on 3 hits, including the home run. No errors and no one left on base. We'll head now to the home half of inning number 3. It's the Cardinals 4 and the Marlins 1. Bottom of the 3rd now, and stepping in is the veteran shortstop, Miguel Rojas.
Hey, Matty, they need to get some offense going in this one. Getting a run back in this inning, give them a little bit of confidence that they can keep up in this game.
And now the first pitch. This one's down to 3rd. Throw to first is in time for the first out. Now at the plate here is Jazz Chisholm. He singled first time up. Pitch on the way.
Ball at the side.
Pitcher wants to have a quick inning right here, capitalize on the momentum his batters have.
That one's going to find the seats. Strike 1. 4-1's our score here in inning number 3. Fly ball out toward left center field. Center fielder on the run. He gets there and makes the play for the second out of the inning. Next, it'll be Corey Dickerson. Worked a walk in his first plate appearance. Here it comes. And it's fouled away. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. And there's a fastball well off the plate inside. High and deep down the left field line.
It's going to be back to some serious tee work if he can't put that pitch in play right in his wheelhouse.
To 2 balls and 2 strikes now. This is on the ground over to first. Taken in by Goldschmidt. Throw to first beats him easily, and the side is retired. 1, 2, 3 go the Marlins. They trail it 4-1. Start of the 4th upcoming, but first, Heidi Watney is standing by with a report.
Thanks, Matt. In between innings, I was able to catch up with the manager of the Cardinals to discuss his thoughts on his lineup so far. And overall, he's really happy with the at-bats they're putting together. He told me it feels like every ball they've put in play has been a laser. And the numbers back that up. 6 of their hits have come off the bat at 90 miles an hour or harder, guys.
All right, Heidi, thank you. And now, Harrison Bader struck out in his first at-bat.
Yeah, but it was a good changeup, Matty. Good arm action on that pitch. Look for him to try and stay back a little bit more. Let the ball get a little deeper. Don't be shocked if this pitcher tries to rush a heater right here.
Well, it's been a rough one so far. 4 runs through 3 innings. It's about time to get that pitch count down, or he won't be out here very long.
Fastball here, not close, and it's 1-1 now. Marlins have some action in the bullpen now as a right-hander is up and throwing. Swing and a miss as he pulled the string on him. 1-2.
Classic case of the front shoulder flying open on that off speed. Needs to stay compact and stay in the big part of the field.
Duvall is over a few steps toward the line, and he has it for the first out. Stepping in for the Cardinals, Kwang Young Kim. 0 for 1 for him here in this one. Ready to deliver. Here comes the first pitch. Now a swing and a miss at a slider for a strike.
Swing and a miss on a nasty slider right there. Always felt toughest pitch in the game. If you're a guy who liked to work the big part of the field, you were on that fastball middle away. That slider looked like a heater for about 56 feet 6 inches.
Back to the top of the order now, and that'll bring in Tommy Edman. First pitch of the AB on its way. And that's cut on and missed. 0-1. 4-1 our score as we play inning number 4. There's a swing and a high drive into left center field. And that'll get down out there for extra bases. And he is into second with a 2-out double.
So he's clearly been scuffling out there, really unable to find a rhythm.
Yeah, Matt, I think his only hope is to try to get out of this 4th inning and maybe try to regroup for the 5th. But this is 8 hits he's given up already, so he might even have trouble doing that.
At the plate now, Dylan Carlson lifted in the air toward the line and right. And that is off the wall, but in foul territory. Foul ball. 0 for 1 with a run scored thus far. Oh and 1, here it comes. Fastball just misses. That's ball 1.
1 ball, 1 strike.
No offer on that one. 2 balls and a strike. He's set, and the 2-1 pitch. High in the air out to center field. He's under it, and that ends the inning. So they can't make anything out of the 2-out double. We're back with more on this Monday night after this. Now it'll be the 4-hole hitter, Brian Anderson. He's set to lead us off in the home half of the 4th inning.
Brian Anderson.
He's ready. Here's the first pitch. Into center field, line drive base hit. With that, the Marlins get a good start to the inning with their leadoff man aboard.
Dan, that can't bother you too much as a pitcher. Guys swinging first pitch.
Now, one of the things you want to do, D-Rose, you have to try to get ahead with the first pitch. You want to throw one of the first 2 pitches for strikes. Unfortunately, sometimes when you bring the ball in the strike zone, you're bound to give up some base hits, but hopefully he can minimize the damage here.
Standing in now, Adam Duvall, as he'll come up empty there as he misses the off-speed pitch for strike 1. Looking to put the ball in play here. He went down on strikes in his first at-bat. Set to deliver the 0-1. Tries to shave the corner with that pitch, but it's 1-1. Anderson on at first, nobody out. And this is low, ball 2. 2-1. Now he extends nicely, and this ball's driven to right field and deep. And this one is gone. A home run. Adam Duvall puts a pair on the board with a home run. First home run of the campaign for him as it's trimmed to a 4-3 game now.
Hey, that's the price you pay right there when you try and sneak a fastball past this guy. Power hitter, and every power hitter in the league knows you got to start with the numero uno, number 1, man. You got to get on the heater and adjust to everything else, and he did just that.
And that'll bring in Garrett Cooper. Popped him up. Edman backs up a bit, and he takes charge for the first out. 1 out, base is empty, and up next it'll be the catcher Sandy Leon. Ready to deliver. Here comes the first pitch. Lifted in the air toward the line and right. And he fouls this one off. Still only 1 out in the inning. fouled off. Fouled away. And he fouls this one off.
Hey, 5 foul balls in a row. Loving the battle in the box right here, making the pitcher work.
Had him fooled as he swings through the curveball. 2 down.
That's a pretty sad attempt at hitting a baseball right there. No doubt he was completely fooled because that was a curveball and it looked like he was late on a curveball. That tells me he gave up on it right till the very end, and obviously there was nothing he could do at that point.
So that'll bring in Monty Harrison next. He'll start him here with a changeup, but it's taken for ball 1. Comes into this at bat 0 for 1 in the ball game. The 1-0. Misses, ball 2.
It's never advantageous to fall behind 2-0 as a pitcher, but if you're going to do it, it's far better to do it with a guy down in the bottom of the order. Time for a challenge fastball right here, though.
Here it comes.
Hey! I got 2-1 the count.
And it's fouled away. Here now the 2-2. Great changeup there in the dirt for the 3rd strike. And that ends the inning. But 2 come across to score in the inning courtesy of this 2-run home run. We played 4. It's now a 4-3 ball game. Eliezer Hernandez will come on in relief as he'll make his 2nd appearance of the season so far. Here's Nolan Arenado. He's got hits in both of his at-bats so far in this one.
Well, Matt, this is one of the problems. This guy's a good fastball, particularly low fastball hitter. It doesn't matter how hard or how low you throw it. That's right into this wheelhouse. What you want to do with this guy is move the ball from the belt up to get him to chase something that maybe he'll pop up in the infield.
Strike 1 to start the at-bat. Ready with the 0-1 pitch.
1-1.
High and deep down the left field line. Here comes the 1-2. Is swung on and missed. He got him. Here's a look at the final line for the Marlins starting pitcher. Certainly not the night he wanted to have.
Hey, this was just one of those games that just weren't meant to be when you add it all up. Had a rough time, only lasted 4 innings. Just wasn't able to give them the kind of performance they were looking for going into this one.
And now the Cardinals' number 4 hitter, Paul Goldschmidt, for his career in this matchup. He's a .333 hitter. And a good slider here to start the at-bat, but it's ruled a ball. 1-0. And a fastball that's about off the radar screen there. It's 2-0. Four runs, 8 hits, and no errors so far for the Redbirds. 3-0 now.
I wouldn't be surprised if he had the green light here. Matter of fact, I know he's got the green light here. He's looking for something set or cut, and he's looking to do damage.
And a fastball misses there, ball 4.
And with the bases empty and 3 balls, I think they were probably just saying, hey, we're not going to compound our mistakes here. Better issue a free pass and give him something to drive.
Digging in next, Yadier Molina, 1 for 2 on his line so far in the game. First delivery to him. There's the fastball that gets the lower part of the zone, called for a strike.
He'll be fine coming out of the bullpen in this one if he can keep the ball around the knees like that.
Off the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. Two balls and a strike to Molina. Fouled off. Runners on first with 1 down. And Molina swings and misses that time as he's a strikeout victim here. 2 away.
That was aggressive pitching in that at bat, and I like seeing that. He showed all hard stuff until the 5th and final pitch for the strikeout. When you work off your hard stuff, it really opens up your secondary pitches to be more deceptive.
So that brings in the power hitting middle infielder Paul DeYoung. No balls and 1 strike. That's over, but low. It's a ball and a strike. To third, right to him. Throw on to second for the force, and the side is retired. 1 left for the Cardinals, but they hold on to a 4-3 lead. Jesus Aguilar will grab a bat and hit for the pitcher here.
Number 24, Jesus Aguilar.
First offering on its way.
0-1's the count.
The windup and the 0-1.
Ball, that's in.
A couple of righties starting to loosen now in the bullpen. One and 2 now as that one's fouled off. Very weakly on the ground. Here's another 1-2. Clearly off with his timing on that one. A swinging strike. Throw on to first is in time to get him, so that'll go down as a strikeout and a 2-3 putout for route number 1. So the lineup flips over, and digging in, Miguel Rojas. 0 for 2 with a fly ball and a ground out on his line to this point. Little tardy on that swing as it's well wide of first. 3 runs, 4 hits, and no errors in the game for the Marlins. And here's a curveball in the dirt that time for a ball. 1-1. Heading out towards shallow right. And he will make the play out there, and there are 2 away now. And stepping in, Jazz Chisholm. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Here's the first pitch.
No, inside.
We're in the 5th inning of a 4-3 ball game here. Ball 2.
That's inside.
Too tight with that one. 3-0.
Now with the bases empty, I think he needs to be careful not to just groove one here just because it's 3-0. He's a guy that could ambush you and lose one over the wall.
Into the windup and the pitch. And this is taken low for ball 4, and they'll have themselves a 2-out base runner here after all.
Man, you hate to give up a 2-out walk to anybody, but especially to a speed demon like him. Good chance he's running here, and good luck trying to stop him.
Ready now is Corey Dickerson, and we'll see if they can make him pay for the 2-out walk. Always considered a big no-no, of course. He comes set. Here's the 0-0 pitch. Here's the slide step there, Danny.
Yeah, he's clearly thinking about the steal right here. Didn't happen, but the cat-and-mouse game continues on.
In there, and it's even at 1. Here's a look over to first. Throw is up the line as it gets away. Lays off the fastball low, and it goes to 2 balls and a strike.
It's one thing to get hit around, but it's far worse when you're getting yourself into trouble by not throwing strikes. Every pitcher's been there, but it doesn't make it any less frustrating or unacceptable.
Popped up. Edman is calling for it. And he makes the play to end the inning. 1 left for Miami. Still down a run. It's 4-3. John Curtis will come on out of the bullpen as he'll be appearing in his 3rd game this season.
Number 39, John Curtis.
Top half of the 6th about to get started, and into bat next will be Tyler O'Neill. Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch. Yanked on the ground down the line. Nothing in 1 count. Here it comes.
Ball that's outside.
Action in the bullpen now as a right-hander begins to throw out there. Two balls and a strike to the St. Louis leadoff hitter.
I'd be real surprised if he goes back out away there on the mound. This is a count for a fastball challenge, and we'll see if he's ready for it in the box.
The 2-1. And he takes ball 3, so it's a full count now.
And obviously, this guy's a double threat up there. He can run, and he can go yard, too. You don't want to walk him because he might steal a base on you, but you don't want to groove a fastball either because he can take you out of the yard.
And he takes strike 3 called on the fastball. 1 gone. Pretty clear he didn't like the call there on the outside part of the plate, but probably too good to take, and he's down on strikes for the 2nd time.
Yeah, that pitch was right on the black. Beautiful pitch. And even if we had robot umps, he'd still be out. But the only difference would be he wouldn't be able to complain about it.
And that'll bring up the former top prospect, Harrison Bader. No balls and a strike to count. Tried to get him to go after the slider, but it's 1-1. And he takes ball 2, and it's 2-1. Curtis, the former Tampa Bay Ray, he came here by way of trade earlier this year.
I know he'd tell you he'd like to be playing a little bit better, but I think it's as advertised for this ball club right now. I think the manager is getting exactly what they expected.
Unable to get the bat around in time, and the count evens at 2-2. 4-3 our score here as we play inning number 6. And he strikes him out as well. So 2 punch-outs to begin the outing out of the pen.
No problems for him on the mound since he's come out of the pen to start this inning. That's back-to-back Ks, and he's making it look pretty easy. This has the makings of a good outing so far.
Matt Carpenter will get the call here as he'll hit for the pitcher.
Number 13, Matt Carpenter.
And now the first pitch. 2 outs already on the K this inning, so he'll be looking to do better. Pitch on the way.
Ball, that's down.
Count is 1-2 now. 2 out, nobody on.
That's
2-2 now with 2 away and the base is empty. Don't quite know where that one missed, but it's not for me to decide. 3-2.
Man, that's one of those. How could you not swing at that one? A good take there on that pitch.
The 3-2 pitch. Popped him up. Chisholm is under it. No problem with this one, and the inning is over. Down in order go the Cardinals, and it remains a 4-3 game. Bottom of the 6th inning on its way, but first, here's Heidi Watney.
Matt, during the commercial break, I had a chance to catch up with manager Don Mattingly about the Marlins' offensive production, and flat out, he was very pleased with the quality of their at-bats. He said that although they haven't broken through in a big way in the runs column, they have made the opposing pitching work really hard for just about every out. Their starter's pitch count was pretty high, which resulted in him being removed from the game prior to the 6th inning. Now it's a matter of making their bullpen work just as hard, guys.
All right, Heidi, thank you. Dakota Hudson will come on out of the bullpen as he'll be appearing in his 3rd game this season. Ready to go for the last half of the inning, and that'll give way to the 3rd baseman, Brian Anderson. First pitch on its way.
Too high. Ball.
This is why the manager pencils these guys in the middle of the order. Big spot, time for them to get back in this game with a couple quality ABs.
The 1-0. Swing and a shot toward right center. He lays out for it, but he can't pull it in. He's through first and hustling for second. And the Marlins have something cooking. It's a leadoff double.
As a hitter, the only feeling better than hitting a bomb is driving one into the gap like that. He hustled out of the box knowing he was guaranteed a double, but I think he had thoughts of maybe a triple if the outfielder hadn't gotten it back in right away.
Yeah, there really wasn't any question about that one going for extra bases off the bat. Stepping in now, Adam Duvall. A ball and no strikes. A couple of RBIs for him already, and a chance for more here. Here comes the 1-0.
Great job by the pitcher right there, changing eye levels. We all know he's a sinker ball pitcher, but if he could throw some four-seamers up in the zone like that, it could work for him.
Fouled away. Anderson leads off second with nobody out. And he struck him out. Second time tonight now that he's been set down on strikes. So stepping in is Garrett Cooper. Base knocked to the outfield could score the tying run from second. From the stretch.
What a well-executed fastball right there. Down and away. If you're going to do any damage with that pitch, you have to think up the middle the other way, and you have to be diving and leaning out over that thing.
1-1 now the count to the Marlins first baseman. From the belt, the pitch. No offer on that one. 2 balls and a strike. Sent on the ground out to second. A diving effort here as he gets a glove on it. And not really much of a chance to recover there as he'll reach first on what undoubtedly will be scored as an infield single. So now to the plate, Sandy Leon, as the first pitch to him is in there for a called strike 1. The 0-1 on its way. Good hard sinker that time, and he's in control. 0-2.
Big pitch coming up right here. He'd love for a ground ball or a strikeout.
Good job to spoil that one away, and he stays alive. And he struck him out. And wouldn't this be something if he could work out of this with that 1-run lead still in check?
That swing tells me he was really trying to get a pitch out front and rip it down the line, but that wasn't a great pitch to do it on. It's really not the best 2-strike approach either.
In now, Monte Harrison. As the first pitch sinker misses to him, it's ball 1. He's hitless in his 2 at-bats so far. The 1-0 down the third baseline. Throw on to first will be in time, and the Marlins can't cash in here, and that ends the inning. Marlins strand a pair. Score holds at 4-3. Now we're going to have a conference at the home plate area, so it would appear that we'll see a double switch here. Anthony Bass will come on to pitch now as he'll move into the 8th spot in the lineup on the double switch here. Starling Marte is into the ball game as well as he'll slide into the pitcher's spot, hitting 9th now on the double switch. Digging in, the switch hitter, Tommy Edman. He doubled his last time through. First offering on its way. And a fastball's off the plate away. It's ball 1.
You know, because this is just a 1-run game, this doesn't strike me as a situation where he's going to be working around a guy. I think he's going to challenge him right here.
2-0 now. Now here's the pitch.
Ball 3.
Dylan Carlson waits on deck. Three balls and a strike to the Cardinals shortstop.
You maybe get 2 pitches a game where all the guesswork goes out the window. This is certainly that situation.
A good pass at that ball, just a little late, and now the count's full. Now the 3-2 pitch. Lifted down the line in left. Dickerson's after it. He's not going to get to it, so the leadoff guy's aboard with a base hit. And he's out trying to stretch it into a double, so a costly mistake here leading off the inning. Into the box now, Dylan Carlson, as he takes a called strike at the knees. It's 0-1. He's 0 for 2 in the ballgame so far. taken high and deep to right. Looking up is the right fielder. And this ball is gone. No chance to make a play on that one. A solo shot here to straightaway right field. First home run of the campaign for him, and it's now 5-3.
That wasn't the plan. You just have a meeting with your pitching coach to go over some strategy, and all of a sudden you throw one and it leaves the ballpark.
And that'll bring in Nolan Arenado. And he fouls this one off. So far, 2 for 3 in this one. Now here's the pitch. On the ground to the right side. Oh, a diving effort as it's off his glove. Throw will not be in time at first. A good effort that time, but not enough to prevent them from getting a one-out base runner. To the plate now, Paul Goldschmidt. As he takes a called strike on the black, it's 0-1. 2 hits and 2 trips for him thus far. The 0-1 pitch.
What a nasty pitch right there. Batter thought it was going to hit him, and it ends up breaking into the zone for a strike.
In the dirt, and now let's see. And it's not in time as he's in well ahead of the throw. And forget about the double play now as he'll move up to second here on the wild pitch.
Well, when a reliever comes in a game, he always wants to make a big impression, but I don't think uncorking a wild one was what he had in mind. Sometimes it takes a reliever a little bit of time to be comfortable on the mound out there, so we'll see if he can settle in.
Not trying to pick up that outside corner, but this misses, and it's back to even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's a shot to right field, and that's going to be in for a base hit. Arenado rounds third and is digging for the plate. He will score as they push their lead to 3 now.
Hey, Dero, that's a big RBI right there to stretch this lead to 3. Takes a lot of pressure off your pitcher going into the bottom part of the inning.
Yeah, Dan, no doubt. As an offense, all you're trying to do is put your pitchers in positions to be successful. Giving them that 3-run cushion has to make you feel good.
Chris Russin comes on to pitch here with 1 man gone in the top of the 7th.
Number 53, Chris Russin.
Standing in now, Yadier Molina. And here's a pitch inside, and that got him.
Well, I bet the manager breathed a sigh of relief when he saw he wasn't hurt that badly. The last thing they can afford to lose is a guy like that for any length of time.
Stepping in now, Paul DeYoung. As he'll take a look at an off-speed pitch here that misses for ball 1. He's working on a 1 for 3 thus far. The 1-0 home.
Hey. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Rolled slowly down the third baseline. But this is a foul ball as the count holds steady at 1-2. Hoping to send him packing. Pitch on its way. To 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
You know, something to keep in mind. They're really burning through that bullpen, and this is only the first game of the series. Definitely could have an impact on the rest of the series, and maybe even the whole week ahead.
Full count now, 3-2.
Well, you don't see it all that often, but this might be a good time for a 3-2 change. If he can locate it, it's nearly impossible to hit.
Had to wait back on the changeup, and he did a good job just to make contact. He's set. Here's the 3-2. Oh, now here's a drive out to the alley. So much of this game is situational hitting, guys. Nice job there.
Yeah, you've got to find a way to pick your teammates up when you're given the chance, and he doesn't try to do too much right here. He just takes what's there. Safely on second, and his buddy is high-fiving teammates in the dugout.
Into the box, Tyler O'Neill, as he'll take a look at his sinker here, too low for ball one. He's hitless in 3 at-bats to this point. In there, 1-1.
This is going to be an interesting at-bat. I think he has to be pitching for a strikeout here, so we'll see what kind of sequence he uses.
Here it comes on 1-1.
2 balls, 1 strike.
He's got a couple of pitches to deal with right here, but he's starting to lose command of his pitches. It might be time to take a step back and try to refocus on making some good pitches.
The 2-1. Doesn't catch the outside corner. It's a ball.
And remember here, there's an open base at first, so a walk is not the worst thing that could happen right here.
And that's low, ball 4.
Oh, that's a walk that could really change the complexion of the game. With the bases loaded, if he gives up a base hit right here, it could get real ugly.
And now here is Harrison Bader, 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts for him to this point in the ballgame. First pitch of the AB now. This is hit high in the air out toward left center. Dickerson's there. He makes the catch. Here comes the runner from third. And the runner scores from third as they extend their lead. It's an 8-3 ball game.
Hey, talk about having a productive inning. You like to see that. You like to add on runs anytime you can. And a sac fly here gives their team another insurance run, and they're starting to blow this thing wide open.
Ali Sanchez is in with 2 away now as he looks at a called strike 1. 2 outs and 2 runners aboard here in the 7th inning. A 1 pitch on its way. 4 runs here in this half inning. A little bit off the outside. It's 1-2. Waved at and missed for the 3rd out. Not much of a chance at hitting that one, and the inning is over. 9 men come to the plate, 4 score. Time to get up and stretch here in Miami. The Cardinals are out in front, 8-3. Jordan Hicks gets the call from the pen to take the ball for the home 7th.
Number 12, Jordan Hicks.
Here's Starling Marte. He's newly entered into the ball game, so this will be his first trip to the plate here in inning number 7.
The center fielder, Starling Marte.
From the stretch, here's the pitch. Way inside with that one. A pretty easy take there.
Pretty good pitch right there. Fastball in off the plate. One of the things you want to do as a pitcher, try to stand those hitters up.
strike to even the count. 1-1. And that misses. 2-1.
That's the heavy sinker right there. He has the ability to get ground balls when he needs them, potential double play situations, or to get that jam job with no one on base, that tapper right back to the pitcher. One of the toughest pitches to hit in the game.
Did a good job to shorten up and protect the plate, and he'll have another shot at it here. Ready with another 2-2. And that misses there, so he runs the count full now.
You could pretty much book it that a fastball's coming. A challenge fastball right here. He cannot allow the 9-hole hitter to get on base with the top of the order looming.
Too close for comfort, and he did a good job just to make contact. A payoff pitch one more time. Now here's a comebacker back to the mound. And he'll flip on to first to record the out. Next to hit, Miguel Rojas. He could really use a knock here. 0 for 3 in the game so far. Here's the first pitch to him.
Off the plate, ball 1.
1 out, nobody on. Swinging a ground ball to third. Throw on to first, 2 gone. At the plate now is Jazz Chisholm. It was a walk in his last trip. First pitch of the AB on its way. Goes the other way as this is line to left. That's in for a base hit, and he's 2 for 3. Throw into second. The tag, and they'll get him at second, and with that, the side is retired. Starting to run out of innings here as they are unable to cut into the deficit. 8th inning coming up. Cards lead it 8-3. Adam Simber will come on out of the bullpen as he'll be appearing in his 3rd game this season.
Adam Simber.
In now, Tommy Edman. He swings and hits it foul off to the right and out of play. As we near the end of this one, it's clear the long ball has played a big role in today's outcome. Dan, D-Row, what are your final thoughts on what we've seen?
Yeah, just non-competitive pitches in some big situations, Dan, and the offense took full advantage.
Yeah, you know, D-Row, one of the things about pitching is you want to have location, and it was obvious in this one today that the pitchers weren't on point, and what happens when that happens? Hitters make you pay, and the long ball was a big part of this one here.
Hit sharply on the ground. Reined in. Throw on to first in time, so the leadoff man is set down to open up inning number 8. Next up, Dylan Carlson blasted a solo homer last time up. He's set. Here it comes. And a strike called at the letters. Looked high to me, but it's 0-1. Right-hander starts to loosen out in the bullpen now. Now the 0-1. A great pitch there as he couldn't get extended on that one, and he's down on strikes for the 2nd out. That was a nasty looking slider that time.
Yeah, that was really well executed, Matt. A classic strikeout pitch. You think it's fastball middle in, then it starts bearing in on your back leg, and unless you hit it out front, there's nothing much you can do with that.
Into the box now, Nolan Arenado. Popped up. Cooper is over to take a look, and this is going to get down. It's a foul ball. 3 for 4 so far, and seeing it well in this ball game. The 0-1 delivery.
Ball, that's off the plate.
Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Well off the inside that time as the sinker misses for a ball. A little early, and now it's even at 2-2. This is in the air out to left field. Dickerson's there, and he makes the play to end the inning. 1-2-3 go the Cardinals, but they lead it by a count of 8-3. And now in the box, Corey Dickerson. 0-for-2 with a walk for him so far.
Corey Dickerson.
First offering on its way. Down on the shins and missed with it. Ball one. Ground ball foul down the left side. Sinker misses that time, and it's 2-1. Three and one to the Marlins left fielder.
That's where he wants that sinker to end up, but that was a nice job of laying off.
And this is taken here for ball four. So the leadoff man's on base to kick off the home eighth.
Up next, third baseman, Brian.
So here's the cleanup hitter for Miami, Brian Anderson. He's 2 for 3 and looking for more here. First pitch of the AB on its way. Sinker on the inside, and that's a strike.
All you want is the leadoff man to get on to start a big inning, maybe get a big rally going to claw your way back into this ball game.
And he's got to be more disciplined here. It's 0-2. Dickerson gets his lead at first, nobody out. In the dirt here, and it's not in time as he's in well ahead of the throw. And a bad time for that as the runner takes second here.
Well, I know what he was thinking there. The pitch before was way out of the zone, and he was hacking. So the pitcher says, hey, if he's going to swing at that, how about this? Solid strategy, except this time it didn't work out, and it's a wild pitch.
The 1-2.
That's a ball.
Wow, this is a pretty good at bat right here. From down in the count 0-2 to work the count back to 3-2, and he's seen a lot of pitches too.
Now the payoff pitch home. Little chopper back to the mound. And the throw to first is in time, one gone. So next to hit is Adam Duvall. And if you remember, I'm sure he does, he hit a round tripper back in the fourth. First offering. And that misses inside, 1-0. A man at third with one away. That evens it up, 1-1. From the stretch. Lays off the slider that time, 2-1.
Big sweeping breaking ball right there. Good pitch, but if he wants to get him to swing at it, he'll have to bring it in a little bit closer to the strike zone.
Now the 2-1. Swing and a little tapper. Good eye to lay off the slider there, and he works it to full 3-2 here. Garrett Cooper waits on deck. Good battle. Count remains full.
You can really tell they're trying to keep the ball in on this big slugger right here.
Is that an effort to keep him from getting extended, do you think?
Yeah, I think that's the idea, Matt, but he might spin to win if he starts looking for it in there.
The next 3-2. Fastball too low, and that's ball 4.
And with first base open, the last thing he wanted to do was give him something to hit in the heart of the zone. So no harm done. Force out anywhere now.
Alex Reyes takes the mound to try to get out of this mess. There are 2 on with only 1 away. Garrett Cooper will be the first to greet him here, as he'll do so with runners at the corners and only 1 out. From the belt, the pitch, and that misses for ball 1.
And now with first and third, 1 out, a lot can happen here. This at bat could really determine the whole course of the rest of this inning.
Now the 1-0 is a changeup that's looked at for a ball.
Hey, he threw that pitch with a purpose to get a double play. Good job to let it go by, though, as a hitter.
Outside, 3-0 now. From the stretch.
3-1 with 2 on, and this is where you got to be geared up for something to drive. I don't think you can just groove in one right here. You still have to try to make a competitive pitch.
There's the good fastball, and he can't catch up. 3-2.
It's becoming more and more common in today's game to see relievers like this that can run it up there close to 100 miles per hour. But it's so fun to watch it. He blew it right by him there.
Runners are at first and third, 1 away. And he misses ball 4. So he comes out of the bullpen and immediately walks the first man he faces.
That's a big no-no. He obviously had to work carefully with 2 men on, but he did not want to walk him to load the bases. Now he's really got his work cut out for him. We'll see how he fares here.
So now here is Sandy Leon. He went down on strikes in his last at-bat.
Yeah, he's got to put that one behind him, especially with runners in scoring position. Those punch-outs will stick with you a little longer.
Now the first pitch. And he gets ahead 0-1.
That was a pretty good fastball after he walked the hitter previous. There was a little angry on that heater.
The 0-1 pitch. Bases are loaded here, 1 man out. Might have been looking to find that outside corner, but he couldn't quite get it there. It's 1-2. And now action in the bullpen as their closer starts to get loose out there. The 1-2. Got him. And he goes down on strikes for the 3rd time. What's your take on all the strikeouts we see in the game today, Dan? That was his 3rd tonight, and it seems we're seeing that a lot more these days.
Yeah, Matt, there's been a real change in philosophy as far as hitting in baseball today. A lot of guys think now that an out is an out, a strikeout is just as good as a regular out, but we're seeing strikeouts at an alarming rate in baseball right now.
John Birdie.
John Birdie is at the plate as he takes a called strike one, looking to cut into that big deficit they've got in front of them. Big swing and a miss at the fastball, and he's behind in the count 0-2.
Hey, this is a huge pitch right here. It would be demoralizing to watch this inning slip away.
Not a bad pitch there with 2 strikes, but it misses 1-2.
Man, that's a good take there on that 0-2 fastball just missed. He must have a really good eye at the plate.
Tough curveball that time, but he's able to make a little contact to keep this at-bat going. He'll try again, 1-2.
Nope.
Looked like the fastball got away from him there. It's ball 2. Here now the 2-2.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
No pitcher likes to take the count to 3-2, especially when you throw a non-competitive pitch like that on 2-2. That one wasn't even close.
Rolled slowly down the first baseline. And he'll take it to the bag himself. And a great job of pitching out of the bases-loaded situation as the side is retired. Marlins leave all 3. Can't make any headway into an 8-3 deficit. Dylan Floro enters from the pen to start the 9th inning as he'll try to keep the score right where it is heading to the bottom of the 9th. So here's the cleanup hitter, Paul Goldschmidt. Lifetime against this pitcher. Just a couple of matchups, no hits in 2 at-bats. First pitch on its way. Hit weakly back to the mound. Throw on to first for the out, and that is how the 9th inning gets underway.
The catcher, number 4.
So next to bat will be Yadier Molina. Last time up, he was hit by a pitch.
Yeah, Matty, you're not lying. Last time up, squared right in the back. Hopefully it doesn't stiffen up. I want to see if he can get through something right here.
That just misses off the inside for ball 1. Action in the bullpen now as a right-hander begins to throw out there. The 1-0 home. Gets him to swing at a pitch down and out of the zone, 1-2. And a swing and a miss here, and the first 2 are dispatched to begin the 9th.
Boy, there's the perfect pitch right there, the straight changeup. He hadn't used it yet in this at-bat, and what does he do? He uses it, pulls the string, and gets the big strikeout.
At the plate, Paul DeYoung. As he'll get caught chasing a bad one there, it's strike 1. He's got 2 hits in 4 at-bats. Oh, 0-1 count, and the pitch. And this ball's heading for the seats down the right side as the count will move to 0-2 now. Nothing in 2 count, and the pitch. And there's strike 3, so we'll see now if they can manage to hold on to this huge lead as the side is retired. Down in order go the Cardinals, but they lead it by a count of 8-3. All set for the bottom of the 9th. Coming forward, the veteran outfielder, Starling Marte.
Starling Marte.
Ready to deal. Here comes the first pitch. Cardinals are going to get something going in the bullpen now as a left-hander has begun to get loose. 1-0 delivery.
Well executed
1-1.
fastball right at the knees. Going to be a long day for this offense if he stays in that spot.
And this one's up around the eyes, 2-1. Ripped down the first base line, but this will wind up a foul ball, 2-2. Now here's the pitch. They really bunch him up on that one as he swings and misses for the first out.
Well, we'll see a lot of these power arms coming out of the bullpen in these days, but it doesn't make it any less impressive to me. I love watching guys come in and blow smoke right by guys.
Standing in now, Miguel Rojas, and it's fouled away. One and one to the Marlins leadoff hitter. Grounded, foul. The 1-2 pitch. And that is swung on and missed, and things are starting to look bleak here for the home 9. There are 2 away now. Good job of making him chase a pitch for the strikeout there.
Yeah, Matt, that's the advantage of getting ahead in the count. You can really force hitters to expand their zone and protect. And when they're in that mode, getting them to go after a pitch they can't do much with becomes a lot easier.
So now to the plate, Jazz Chisholm. He'll wait out a breaking pitch here that finds the zone for strike 1. So far, 2 for 3 in this one. Nothing in 1 count. Here it comes. Now a fastball off the plate away. A ball and a strike. And he'll come back with 1 in the dirt as the count moves to 2-1 now. 2 out, nobody on. Fastball, and he has to bend out of the way of that one.
That's a classic piece of pitching right there. You have to back hitters away from the plate to make them a little bit uncomfortable. Now you can go inside or outside. I like that purpose pitch.
The 3-1. Miami down to their last strike. Neither guy willing to give in, and the at-bat will continue.
Looked like he was cheating a heater right there. A little bit too far out in front. Got to find a way to keep his hands back.
And another foul ball. Has them down to their final strike. Here it comes. And this one misses high for ball 4, and they have themselves a 2-out base runner.
That is just a great at-bat there. When you're down late, you need base runners any way you can get them, and that never-say-die mentality could be the difference. We'll see how it plays out.
Ready now for the Marlins, Corey Dickerson, man at first after the 2-out walk. He's set, and the pitch.
Ball 1.
And this is low, ball 1. Can't find the zone there as he lays off the breaking ball.
He's gone back-to-back with off-speed stuff to start this AB, and neither has found the zone. He's trying to pitch him backwards, but that only works if you can get them for strikes. Now he'll probably have to challenge him.
2 balls and a strike.
I'm pretty surprised by the location on those last 3 pitches. The book on him is that he hits the way pitch pretty well, and he just saw 3 in a row out there.
So does he go back out there again?
No, Matt, I expect him to mix it up. Most catchers won't call for the same location over and over and over.
Hey, sometimes you just got to tip your cap right there. You execute a nice pitch down in the zone, think you're going to get a ground ball or a swing and a miss, and you find yourself with a man on first. Got to regroup.
Next to stand in is Brian Anderson. And these guys are making a little push here. You have to like the effort despite the odds.
Yeah, you really do, Matt. Look, they still have a significant hill to climb, but hey, they string a couple of hits together here, and all of a sudden this thing feels doable.
Ready to deliver. Here comes the first pitch.
0-1
Swing and a miss, 0-1.
That was a great hack right there. Timing was on point. Just sometimes you have bad bat barrel accuracy.
Outside, that's a ball.
That misses wide. 1 ball and 1 strike. Good pitch as this is swung on and missed, and now they're down to perhaps their final strike of the evening.
Yeah, guys, he's got so much respect for this guy's fastball. You could tell he was out in front on that slider. I think he goes to the well one more time with that pitch.
Now a swing, and he pops him up. And this should do it. And he'll make the catch here to end it. And the Cardinals have claimed the 4th consecutive victory here as this ball game is over. 8-3 tonight. The Cardinals led this game from the 3rd inning on and never wavered. Kwang Young Kim gets the win on the mound, his first of the year. Trevor Rogers was only able to work 4 innings as he takes the loss. So that will wrap things up. For Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, Heidi Watney, and our whole crew, I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, head to theshow.com.